Hello Pisces, and welcome to your November forecast. And we have a lot of good news taking place this month as some of the energies are really awakening and starting to move forward again. We're loving that. And I will start with showing you that the sun is in your 9th house in November, which is really a sister house to you. So it really is going to bring up a lot of good extra positive energy to your first house, which is you yourself, presenting yourself, and also the 5th house of your creativity. So that Scorpion energy is all about passion. What are you passionate about, Pisces? This is where you're going to really burn this month. It's such a good way, you know, and it's reaching for the stars. And the 9th house is all about, your philosophical, spiritual side. It's also doing research. It's also reaching out to vaster regions, since the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius and Jupiter, right? So I can see there's like long distance type of energies coming into you from foreign people and places. Okay, so you're spreading yourself out. It's a great time to do research, to dig in, prepare for what's coming next month. For next month, that sun is going to move into your 10th house of career, and you're going to see how that is going to radiate and shine. So you're kind of laying now a foundation of where you're heading for the end of the year. Now, to help you do this, you have the beauty of the new moon also right here in Scorpio, November 15th. If you look down here, 23 degrees in Scorpio, mark that on your calendar. For you, Pisces, where do you want to place your intentions on that day? We always speak of intentions. The primary intention should be to think in big terms. This is the Sagittarian, the Jupiter house. Think big. Whatever it is that you are foreseeing for yourself, think international maybe also. And do it with all this passion and the depth that you have, the wisdom of the higher Scorpio, which is symbolized by the eagle, right? High wisdom. How can you bring that together? And the 9th house also has to do with teaching, sharing, bringing out. Think about 9th house as education, right? So some of you Pisceans might go out there with a new course, whatever it may be, presenting something, hopefully in these months where you've been in your lockdown with COVID, right? While the sun was passing through these houses, this area of your chart, that you've been working step by step, building up to where you have your package together at this point to go out with it and expand your horizons. And you'll see already next month that you will have some reapings from it. You know, we talk about the law of attraction, and I get that question a lot. It's like, why doesn't it work for me? Well, maybe under whatever new moon you're replacing your intentions, that you're replacing other intentions where the new moon was not showing up. It doesn't hold that much gravity. But when we know the area of where that new moon is showing up, wow, you have power, girl, or boy, right? Because why? That is what holds the gravity of pulling that power of manifestation into your life. Your primary goal right now is to think, how can I reach out? How can I reach potential groups? How can I expand what it is that I'm holding on the inside and bringing it out to the world, right? That should be number one this month. Next month, you can talk about putting intentions for your career when the new moon shows up there, right? Or anything that has to do with the 11th house, hopes and dreams and groups, that will be in January. Right now here in November, though, it's all about how do you want your information to go out, be shared, and spread to others, right? Maybe it's the teacher within you that needs to go out and share, right? But it's also taking in information. Maybe you're going to be researching a lot, and if you're really needing speed learning, then that could be a good also intention to have. Or anything about traveling to foreign countries, meeting up with foreign people. If that is a part of where you are today and working on, let that be a part of this intention too. So Now, for secondary new moons, I would say go listen to your moon chart reading. See where this moon shows up in your chart. That would be a great secondary intention to put down. Same thing with your rising sign chart. Look at where that new moon is showing up in that chart. And then you have all three of them working at top shelf for you. And this is how you can speed up your life and dynamically alter it, change it, and start picking all the fruits from all your labors, right? Without sending up intentions that hold low or no gravity for here and now. Just my little trick for you, right? And it is treasure to know. While we're on the moons, let's talk about the full moon. It's 4th house for you. Here, Pisces, 8 degrees in Gemini, showing up November 30th. And so by the end of the month, this is a time for family. Family. 4th house is our foundation, right? And how we can share ourselves with our family, but also for any projects that we have been doing or wanting to do. This is a great time to get that done, as this full moon is bringing to you the illumination of what you have been working towards. So you might see how the security of this foundation is now going to be illuminated. We love the full moons because that's when we receive and harvest. But we have also Mercury. That's the next planet we're going to be talking about right now, and it is in your 8th house. So for a lot of you, if you're looking at this reading for November and October, you're working on looking at taxes, your savings, and so forth, money that you have with other people, right? So that can be with your significant other, but it could be mortgages, insurances, and maybe stocks, bonds, investments, and so forth. Be a little careful here in October until Mercury goes direct. You can see here, November 4th, when Mercury moves forward again, it's not a good time to invest because of the retrograde. We might get it wrong, right? Or pick the wrong investment companies. Whatever the deal is, you know, you might be paying off your taxes right now. Just make sure that whatever you sign, that you read the fine print. We never want to sign any documents, contracts, especially money related. Like the 8th house is all about money, not necessarily your income money, which is ruled here by the 2nd house, but out here. So yes, I would say look things over, make sure that whoever is listening to you when you are sharing, that they're hearing what it is you're saying, and vice versa, that you're listening to what they are saying so we can get it right. Venus, though, is there as a companion this month, and which is really, really wonderful. Venus has been retrograde. It's picking up full speed. And, of course, Venus rules not just love and romance, but also money. And it is in a money house. Maybe you're setting yourself up, Pisces, to get some extra income stream coming in, royalties, commissions. If you're not thinking about it, hey, it's time to look into it. This is a time where you can reap from this. And Venus won't be too long in this sign, right? So, and it's going to be a whole year until she visits again. So it's always good to know where the planets are so that we can work ahead, you know, and be aware of what is coming up. And that is what I love about astrology, because it allows us to see where the energy is and how we could benefit and harvest from it. But it's in the signs of the scales of Libra, you know, and so it's extra powerful, for one, since it rules Libra. And of course, that is love and romance and everything of beauty and art. And some of you might want to be investing into art, and you go, right? I would just say wait until Mercury is direct and give it at least a week, 10 days, which brings us to, see, November 4th, I'd say to mid-month, before any investment starts out. So if you're investing in art, this is a good time to do so. And of course, we're getting into the season of the year of Christmas. It would be a time to pick up things there also for the family, and knowing that they are secure because of Mercury's placement. But moving on to your own income this month, Mars has been retrograde for quite a while. The good news is that it will move directly on November 14th, which is great because it slowed you down, and you might have seen that in your income stream. And it may have worried a few of you. It's like, hey, what's happening? Why is it slow, right? Because you're still working. You're still there. But Mars goes a little sluggish, and Mars is our primer motor, right? And so when it wakes up, you'll see that your income stream will start picking up, in fact, in a good way. Now, the good news for you, Pisces, is that Mars is here. It might have been a little tough right now with the challenges of the retrograde, but Mars normally just moves through a sign once every 6 weeks, right? And that's all we have to capture Mars's energy in whatever house it's passing. But for you, hey, the higher blessing is, opposed from the challenge it has brought, is that through this slowdown of Mars in the income sector has forced you to look at, what am I doing? How can I do things differently? You know, and normally under a 6-week period, we're so focused on our day-to-day, we don't really have time to explore and go off on different tracks and search. But I feel that a lot of you Pisces have used extra time now to look at your creative talents and skills, which that so many of you Pisces have, right? That how can you maybe benefit from that in a side stream? So, whatever you're doing now can benefit for a long, long time. Mars only comes through here, like I said, once every 2 years, and only for a few weeks. And next time it comes, it probably won't give you 6 months. So, this is a time that we need to cherish. Squeeze the juice out of it. It will go direct from mid-November. You know, so if you're just awakening to the fact of its gift, get on board now and squeeze as much as of it you can get out of it, right, before it goes direct again. Because do know that you're setting yourself up for the next 2 years, and in fact, even more than that, because you can really start gaining a lot of money here because of it, okay? So don't worry about the slowdown. You're going to make that back and more, all right? Trust me on that. So we have that. Mars is going to go direct. Uranus will also, while we're talking about retrogrades, will go direct this month at 29 of November in your 3rd house for communication. So, for a lot of you Pisces, communication has become even more important than it used to be before Uranus came into the sector of your chart. Now, a lot of Pisces are mute people, shy people, not really anyone to kind of toot their own horns and that and so forth, right? But I can see how with the different conceptions of artsiness, if I can call that, your spiritual ways of being, Uranus has come into your life now for a reason, you know, for a passage of 7 to 8 years. And it's gone 8 degrees of its 30, so we're only in the first third of it. But I really like what it's doing for you because you're finding new ways to express yourself. You know, Mercury is expression, it's linear, the verbal way that we communicate. Uranus is full downloads, it's inspiration in zip files that open up inner consciousness. And I feel that so many of you Pisces now are really starting to open up and allowing your gifts to go out. Where do they go out to? Well, Uranus rules the internet. 3rd house is communication. So I can see how a lot of you are turning your gifts, your talents, through the media, through the internet, finding different groups of people. Speaking of groups, hello, what do you have going on up here in your 11th house? Lo and behold, Pisces, 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 Pisces. You have Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn. They've been working on you this whole entire year of 2020. Yes, we've had the lockdown and everything that's been moving slow, and we've been feeling we lost a lot of energy, and then Mars went retrograde, we lost energy and we just wanted to flatten out and lay in bed, watch Netflix, right? Veg, so to speak. In that state of vegging, you were still working subconsciously, thinking, how can I transform? How can I bring up? How can I bring out? Out where? The 11th house right here is about groups and organizations, your tribes out there in the world. Okay, that's what the World Wide Web is all about. Jupiter expands internationally with abundance, right? And thinking big, not small. Jupiter will always think big. Pluto is here too, and it's all about transformation. So something has been dying in this slowdown. Something has been ending. And it might have been very frustrating and even scary to a few of you. It's like, ooh, who am I today anymore? If something is dying, what do I have to hang on to? Well, you're transforming, Pisces, into this new being, right? And it's nearly done now that the planets have picked up. Now Jupiter will be passing over Pluto. And that whole year transformation of touching Pluto, retrograding back over Pluto, now passing, it is done for the next 12 years. They won't meet up again. Not in a conjunction. And definitely not in this area. Next time it will be in a whole different place. So Jupiter is looking to transform you. How you can grow larger than life. Out to your tribe, out to your groups. Listen up too. Both Jupiter and Pluto also rule money. So if you feel that Mars has hampered you and you've lost a little bit, things haven't really been coming in, you've been furloughed, whatever the deal might have been, right? The universe is going to give you back and more, much, much more. Mars had to be slowed down too. Why? So that all that energy that you normally would take out now had to turn inwards. Why? So you could hear yourself. So you could envision where you are, where you've been, but more so where you are heading in the future. You have been carving your path now through this pressure in ways that you'll only come to see down the road. So years from now, when you turn around, you'll say, that's when my life transformed, 2020. You know, it was hard as get out, but it also opened up new doors, new windows of opportunity, right? And people in power too could come into your life in the area of friendships, because that's the 11th house. Friendships, right? Groups and organizations. Somebody that could come to become very supportive of what you're doing. Saturn, see, is all about self-mastery. So this is nearly done. It's 26 degrees. We've got 4 more degrees to go. And Saturn will then complete its journey where it's been for you the last 2 to 2.5 years, where you've felt that there's been a lot more responsibility on you when it comes to groups, friendships, and so forth. More karma maybe that you've been carrying. Sometimes Saturn can be a little heavy, but it's all to teach us just how strong we are in our foundation, right? Pluto's transforming you to a person that you know you weren't in the past, but where you're heading in the future. So something feels like it's been dying, right? And when we have our vision on the horizon, we know where we're heading. That gives us strength because we can see where we're heading. But there was times here in 2020 where that whole horizon disappeared and you didn't know whether you were coming or going. Listen, that horizon is coming back up with vision, with goals, and you will know exactly where you're heading. And you will be ready for it. This month, everything is turning around. Slowly, you'll be feeling it. Ooh, when you come into December, then January, I can't wait to share with you the 2021 forecast to see what's coming up for you. But, yes, you want to listen to that. But I will also say, go listen to your moon and rising chart this month. Because the new moon is in that 9th house. In your moon reading and your rising sign reading, it will be in different placements, right? And you want to also see, where are you transforming? We know here in your solar chart, it has to do with groups, right? And your hopes and dreams. You also want to see, where are you transforming in your moon chart? where you're transforming in your rising chart. That will empower you to know where you can grab even more resources up to your consciousness and, bring in on that. Bring it home. Bring it home. Neptune, you're just cruising right along with Neptune. Right? It is your ruler. It happens to be in your first house. You're following your dream, and continue to follow your dream, Pisces. That's what it's all about. Bring your creativity out to the world. That holds so much healing in whatever realm you are doing your creativity or your healing. Healing is many things. It's not just always the hands-on healing physically. It's emotionally, and it's spiritually, and so forth. So you go, and I will see you next month. Thank you for listening, and have a good one. Stay safe.